News View, here for you. Good evening and welcome to News View for another Friday night in Champaign, Urbana, and the surrounding areas, and online at YouTube at the channel IOPH3, which is the place for weather in Champaign, Illinois, and more. And here's the top story. And the top story is a new poll conducted by Time Magazine shows that 61% of respondents to this poll oppose the construction of a mosque in New York City near Ground Zero. More than 70% say that they agree that having the plan go forward would insult the victims of the attacks of the World Trade Center. Now, Time Magazine seems to act like all Muslims are the same. This just isn't true. They're not all the same. Or they split them into two groups, but there's actually more than two groups of types of Muslims. And according to this poll and the Drudge Report and CNN, 1 out of 4 people believe that Obama is a Muslim. So this is going to be interesting, and any further insights like this that 57% say that the U.S. is headed in the wrong direction, and that is with 47% saying Obama is a Christian, 24% declined to respond to the question or said they were unsure, and 5% believe that Obama is neither a Christian nor a Muslim. And I will follow that. If there's any new developments in that, which there probably will be. The next story is that the economy in America at this time doesn't look like it's going to be calm. Looks like rough times for the U.S. economy, and the Congressional Budget Office is now saying that the government's going to struggle to dig its way out of a fiscal deficit hole, and this anxiety over the economy could punish the President Obama, and the Democrats at the polls for the next election day. The CBO also said that $1,066 trillion it will be the deficit for the fiscal year of 2011, which begins October 1st. Which is up slightly from the March estimate of $900 $96 billion. Here at NewsView, there will be some changes to this edition as I probably add one or two more editions for other areas and markets. So we're going to be lining up more TV sets, hopefully, and we're going to have new things coming for this edition, the Champaign-Urbana Market Edition in Illinois, coming soon. The next story is a local one, and it's about the fugitive track coach who fled to Russia while on trial in 2007 for sexual assault is now back in custody, according to the Associated Press, and the FBI says he's been returned to Illinois, and he says he's going to serve 12 years in prison for the conviction of the criminal sexual assault. They did not say where he was arrested, but he was a track coach at University High School in Urbana, Illinois, and what he did was contribute to the delinquency of minors by providing alcohol to two girls who were then 15 and 16. And that is that story. And the next story, more bad news for the public school system. This is from MyFox New York. Drug use and gang-related activity is up at public schools, according to a new survey claiming 27% of school-age students 12 to 17 go to schools that are infested with gangs and drugs, meaning 5.7 million students attend schools which are both gang and drug dominated. Almost 50% of all public school students reported drug use or sales of drugs on school grounds. The National Center on Addiction and Substance Abuse survey compared to teens attending gang and drug-free schools and teens who attend schools infected with both gangs and drugs. The findings are that teens who attend schools with drugs and gang problems are 5 times likelier to use marijuana and 3 times likelier to drink. And we will go to a break and continue with our next 2 stories and some weather and maybe some other things, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Newsview. Our next story is about the University of Illinois opening a state-of-the-art dorm. This dorm is, I guess, is this one dorm or I guess it's a bunch of new dorms. But anyway, this is in Champaign, and this is in the Chicago Tribune. Kelsey Rosema is the girl who got, I guess, the first dorm room or one of them in at the U of I, and this is quite a feat for her because she had to rely on her parents for everything before moving into this college dorm, and this dorm helps her do simple and difficult tasks for her. This is their first new residence hall in 44 years and is great for students with severe disabilities, like people in wheelchairs and more. And I'm sure the U of I is very happy about these new dorms that have accessible light switches that are lower, and it works great for students with disabilities. And the next story, and the last story, is that in Canada, marijuana growers are using wild bears to guard the pot. That's right, in Canada, and this is according to Breitbart.com. The police on Wednesday said they were astonished to find 14 wild black bears guarding illegal marijuana growing operations in westmost Canada. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police Sergeant Fred Mansfield said, or Mansfield, I don't know how to pronounce that, sorry, said the police believe that 2 of the growers arrested used dog food to lure the bears onto the property in British Columbia to deter marijuana thieves. Well, the police also say that the bears were tame, but at one point one of the bears climbed under the hood of a police car, sat there for a bit and jumped off, quote unquote, said Mansfield, the officer. Anyway, he also said that the other officers on July 30th in the raid were familiar with wild animals, and they were not afraid of the bears once they realized the bears were not aggressive. And that is of this story. If you want more, you can go to Breitbart.com. And this was also on the Drudge Report today. And get ready for some new changes to Newsview yet again on this edition of This format will most likely be used on the 1 or 2 new editions. Be looking for that online, and have a great weekend, and stay tuned for weather and more. And you can email me at mbadger@newsview.info, or especially if you live around here, you can call the station. That number is now on the screen. And yes, there will be some changes to the format here, yet again, on the local Urbana-Champaign Springfield show. So I'd like to thank you all for watching NewsView, and have a great weekend and a great night. And the weather for NewsView for another Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday night, temperature of 70 degrees Fahrenheit with a slight chance of a thunderstorm. Saturday, 90 degrees Fahrenheit for the high, and a 45% probability of precipitation. And Saturday night, 68 degrees Fahrenheit and cloudy. For your Sunday, an 88-degree temperature Fahrenheit with sunny skies. And for Sunday night, 65 degrees Fahrenheit and clear. This has been your NewsView forecast and weather for the weekend.